Acción, tu revista mensual de cine y series, con los mejores estrenos de cine, fichas y reportajes coleccionables, series de televisión y 4 pósters todos los meses. Búscala en tu kiosco.
So let's start talking about Puss. Let's start talking where this idea come from. This film, this horrifying film about a woman in labor in an open house.
It came from thank you. It really came from a experience that David had. He did some real estate photography, and he ended up at this house kind of in the middle of nowhere, and he ended up calling me being like, I feel like I could just get killed out here, and that's kind of where the idea started. Yeah, I don't know.
Did I press anything?
No, don't worry. It's real good.
Like Justin said, it just seemed like a really interesting scenario that someone could find themselves in, and we just really crafted the idea around that concept. And also, Justin and I really like contained horror, so it really lended itself to that.
It's kind of funny because it feels like a place where you should feel safe, an open house, and it becomes quite the opposite. So how was that jump from a place that we think, okay, we are going to an open house, we are going to watch a house to see if it fits our needs, but it becomes the most horrifying place.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about this, the idea that things that people think are safe and have good memories with usually can be the scariest. A lot of the examples we always talk about is like summer camp with Friday the 13th, Chucky with dolls, Dreaming with Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. Usually, you take something that people associate with, good memories or nostalgia and safety, and it's usually a really interesting background or support foundation, yeah, for a scary story. I've been holding this too long.
Quería preguntarte, Alicia, ¿qué pensaste la primera vez que leíste el guión? ¿Cómo te llegó el proyecto y qué pensaste la primera vez que leíste esta historia?
El proyecto me llegó, estaba en Madrid, mi manager me dijo, hay una película, eres tú, prácticamente toda la película, léelo porque yo creo que puede ser muy guay, hacer. Y me acuerdo leyendo el guión que sí, que va a pasar aquí, ¿sabes? Además embarazada y todo era como, ¿no? Todo estaba como muy arriba y la verdad que lo leí, fue como que lo sentí que era algo que tenía que hacer.
¿Cómo ha sido enfrentarse a ese personaje que está embarazada, que como tú dices,
sí,
toda la película es muy arriba y que es todo, son emociones muy extremas, está al borde de dar a luz y en esa situación imposible?
Pues yo, Alicia, con mucha calma y Natalie con muchos nervios. Entonces era como un buen balance. You understand what I said? Alicia was very calm, but Natalie was just on the edge all the time. And I feel como que yo tenía que estar muy calmada porque si no era imposible como llegar a esas emociones, porque cada escena, prácticamente todas las escenas tenían mucha emoción y sí, los stakes estaban súper altos, ¿sabes? como que pasaba mucho todo el rato.
Y además es un papel bastante físico, hay mucha adrenalina. ¿Cómo ha sido prepararlo y enfrentarse a eso?
Pues la verdad, yo como no he sido mamá, vi también muchos vídeos, ¿no? de cómo físicamente una mujer embarazada incluso corre o como que presté mucha atención a toda esa parte física. También como de náuseas y todo eso, porque la película pues le pasa bastante, ¿no? Con todos estos sustos y todo, la pobre le pasa de todo. Y también incluso el momento, esto es un poco spoiler, pero cuando doy a luz, ¿no? En la película, también hacerlo sola, que hay mujeres que lo han hecho sola, digo, ¿cómo sería esto, no? Y ahí también como apoyarme mucho en los animales y en esta cosa más de instinto animal.
I want to ask you about, because it's one set, it's a house. How do you manage to keep it fresh for the audience? Because there is always the risk for the audience to be exhausted of the same places, the same takes, the same shots. So how do you manage to make it fresh all the time?
It really just kind of comes down to, I think, keeping the audience in the headspace of, your protagonist, and also kind of just like exploring every nook and cranny of this huge house and in different ways each time. And we fortunately had some really great cinematography that helped us keep the movie really interesting throughout. And Alicia's performance, just like, you've seen it, so it just like really helps carry everything, and Raúl as well. So I think that all those things together just really help keep everything interesting. Yeah.
Y voy a decir una cosa. Yo creo que la casa también, o sea, aparte que conocimos a la gente que vivía en la casa y nos contaban historias de verdad de cosas que han pasado en esa casa, de hecho, did it have like a, not documentary or something, but it was like a real haunted house.
The house itself had, like a dark
There's a history behind it, for real. Y teníamos estas aplicaciones que tiene el móvil que puedes ver en plan dónde hay como cosas, y eso se movía bastante. Tengo que decir que creo que todo eso también influyó a que la película fluyera de esa forma, porque la casa en sí, de verdad, o sea, a mí me daba miedo subir a la planta de arriba y estar sola. O sea, como que tenía algo bastante inquietante.
I agree with all that. I think it definitely always comes down to like the character and being able to, like and relate or sympathize with the character. And that was really important with Natalie, since Natalie and Alicia have to basically carry the whole movie. We really wanted to make sure Natalie as a character was likable and relatable. And a lot of that also comes down to casting. Yeah.
Well, especially, I just want to say, like, especially in this, because there's so little dialogue, so it's like you just had to like really give so much with just your expressions and your actions, which I'm not an actor at all, but that seems incredibly difficult. So and to be able, we're really not fans of giving a lot of backstory and like having a lot of exposition, and you just get so much of that just out of your performance, and we really needed an actress that was going to be able to do that for us, and Alicia just nailed it.
Well, inside that house with a full crew and cast doesn't seem something easy to shoot. How did you manage to do that? Because it's a really small space for a huge film crew. Even if it's an independent film, it's a huge crew, a lot of people there, and it must be hard, really hard to shoot a film like this.
It was. I'll let you take this one.
We've had a lot of experience with this type of film shoot. This is our third movie where it's kind of been the same sort of model, small, independent, really utilizing the location, and the location has to serve, like you said, two purposes for the story, but then also a logistical purpose, which is like housing, spaces for crew and all those departments. Yeah, upstairs, we had rooms where like one room was the makeup room, one room was the costume room. So luckily,
it's a big house.
It had to be a big house. We had to find a house that was basically oversized because we knew we needed space for all that stuff. But yeah, it's one of the sacrifices or pitfalls of independent filmmaking. Just trying to be as resourceful as we can.
You'll notice, I guess, throughout the movie sometimes of like we don't go in every single room. The rooms that we don't go in are rooms where like we were staging crew and like people something else. Like people are in there, so it's like keep those doors shut. Walk by it with some cool cinematography. No one's gonna know that that's where everyone's hiding. So.
And there's also the other half of the film that is our killer, that is Raúl. How hard was to find it, to have the right actor, to have the right balance between him and Alicia? How hard it was to find Raúl?
We got really lucky and found Raúl really quickly, to be honest. And we've been fans of him for such a long time. And he gave us so much to work with. His like performance is super nuanced. And once again, like having to carry a lot without saying much. And I don't know, he's just such a terrifying presence, but such a great person and so much fun in the and the chemistry between Raúl and Alicia. Like, you guys were incredible.
Sí, la verdad que eso hizo todo más fácil. Otro día vi la peli con mis amigas y solo me preguntaban, ¿pero es buena persona en la vida real o no? O sea, ¿is he a good person in real life? Todo el rato mis amigas me preguntaban eso y digo, o sea, fue lo mejor, y creo que sería muy difícil grabar una peli así donde pasan tantas cosas si no hubiera esa química entre dos actores. Entonces la verdad que sí, tuve mucha suerte.
Justo quería preguntarte por eso, porque estáis enfrentados toda la película, sí, pero estáis solos toda la película, es entre vosotros dos, tiene que haber una confianza enorme para poder llevar a cabo todo lo que se lleva a cabo,
sí,
pese a que seáis enemigos mortales,
sí, total,
claro.
Total. Yo creo que también como los dos hablábamos español, como que eso facilitó mucho todo. Eso, como los dos hablamos español, también facilitó mucho el vínculo entre nosotros y no sé, como que era todo muy fácil.
Para terminar muy rápido, eres también productora en la película, si no me equivoco. ¿Cómo ha sido la experiencia para ti?
Es que con ellos ha sido todo tan fácil que la verdad, todo lo que proponían y todo era lo que tocaba. Entonces ha sido una experiencia increíble.
Pues de nuevo, thank you so much. Congratulations for the film. Enjoy Sitges. It should be quite a ride.
Merci, merci.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Acción, tu revista mensual de cine y series, con los mejores estrenos de cine, fichas y reportajes coleccionables, series de televisión y 4 pósters todos los meses. Búscala en tu kiosco.